Swadika, good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World tonight. And right now, Kun Thep Chai Yong is joining me live from home. Kun Thep Chai, so we see how each provinces are trying to impose tougher measure. And in a few minutes, Nonthaburi province will block people from going outside from home at 11 o'clock tonight.
That's right. Kunata, good evening. Despite a slight drop in the overall daily number of new infection cases today, as Kunata just mentioned, it's quite obvious that authorities in many provinces have begun to take the stay-at-home directive more seriously. And of course, we have been hearing a lot about curfew being considered to keep people from the streets and to make them stay at home. And it has finally come, though not in the manner that many might have anticipated. As Kun Nathai just mentioned, at any moment now, a curfew will take effect in Nonthaburi province on Bangkok suburbs. But according to the governor of the province, it is not going to be something mandatory. It will be known more as a voluntary curfew. That means that people in the provinces will be asked to voluntarily stay indoors between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. the next day. So we can say that in a few minutes now, this curfew will take effect, but of course it will be on voluntary basis. But as you can see on the screen right now, the streets in Nonthaburi at the moment are quite empty, as people, most of them anyway, have chosen to stay indoors to comply with the curfew.
Yes, so it must be deliberate action and deliberate decision by local people in Nonthaburi province as well, after the number of cases of infection in Nonthaburi is as high as 79 confirmed cases, which is the second to Bangkok only, Kun Thep Chai. That's why we can see tonight that the street in Nonthaburi province is quite empty right now. It means people are very much aware of the situation.
Yeah. The governor of Nonthaburi, Kun Suchin Chai Chumsuk, said there is no other choice but to introduce a curfew to make sure that people take a part in helping curb the spread of the virus.
And overall, the situation in Thailand with 76 provinces, it's the report of confirmed cases covers 61 provinces already. And it must be the issue in the cabinet meeting today. And during the press briefing by Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, we can see how he is showing the possibility that tougher measure can be introduced in the near future.
Of course, as we reported earlier, there were talks about imposing curfew during today's cabinet meeting. And in his press briefing later on, the Prime Minister himself did not rule out the possibility. He suggested at the possibility of more tougher measures to enforce the stay-at-home directive. And he said that if people still keep going out, refusing to practice social distancing, then the government would have no choice but to start either to scale down or to suspend the public transport services. That means that eventually there could be fewer buses on the street, fewer sky trains running for commuters. And he suggested that that could be the only way to discourage people from traveling and to stay more at home.
Yes, because Thailand is under state of emergency in the past 6 days already. And it's clear direction that the government wants more cooperation in terms of staying at home, work from home. And at this stage, it's about cooperation. It's not order yet, but perhaps if the trend of the infection cases are still rising quite sharply, there would be probability of tougher measure in the near future.
I think the Prime Minister has been listening more and more to advice from medical experts who have been insisting that the most effective way to fight the deadly virus is for people to stay home. and avoid as much social gathering as possible. And that's why the Prime Minister today, appeared quite tough on his stand, and his tone was quite stern, suggesting that the existing state of emergency, which would originally intended to last about a month, could be extended to cover 3 whole months, because he believes that the Thai people need some prodding, need real legal enforcement for them to really cooperate in helping to fight the deadly virus.
Can we say that right now in Thailand, Phuket is facing toughest measure because of the order of the whole province lockdown, which is happening in Phuket? Shall we say so?
No. Yeah, sure, because as we know that as far as the numbers are concerned, Phuket doesn't lag far behind Bangkok. It's come either third or fourth in terms of number of new of infection cases. And starting midnight tonight, that is about an hour from now, a very tough lockdown will take effect, meaning that no sea and land transportation will be allowed. And starting April the 10th, the air link between Phuket and the outside world will also be closed. So Phuket is also adopting a very tough approach in dealing with the situation. And as Kunata and I talked to our former journalist friend in Phuket earlier, it looks like the Phuket people had anticipated this kind of tough measures. Of course, the suddenness of the measure might have surprised them, but they knew that this thing would come sooner or later anyway. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. In fact, the local residents would like to see very strict measure because they really want to cooperate and try to prevent the spread of virus as much as they can. So the local foreign journalists who talked to us told us that the local are quite cooperative and they try to stay at home and work from home as much as they can. That's why the scene in Phuket, especially the nightlife right now, is none, and that must be totally changed of what's happened in Phuket.
That's it. And one more interesting point, Kunata, is that in a number of provinces, grocery stores are now being ordered or being asked to close their doors at night after 11 p.m. So it's sort of a curfew for convenience stores, because what happened was that despite the directive for all these grocery stores to restrict their operating hours, but at night there are still a lot of people out there, drinking drinks that they bought from these grocery stores and gather around nearby and enjoy the drink together without taking the slightest precaution against the possibility of being exposed to the deadly virus. So many provinces saw it necessary that they need to really have the grocery stores closed late at night until early in the morning.
So that's the main spot in Thailand that we keep you stay updated with the COVID-19 situation, because right now, especially in 15 provinces, are reported of having cluster or having a number of infections around the country. So we have better pay attention to those provinces, especially Bangkok, Phuket, and Nonthaburi. So thank you very much, Kun Thepchai, for keeping updated with the information about COVID-19. And that's all for Thai PBS World Tonight. And you can watch us on Thai PBS World Tonight online as well, Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. ทั้งหมดคือ